All right, we are live on Instagram. We are live on YouTube. If you're listening to this if you're listening to this on review, pre-recorded, whatever the word is that I'm looking for, just skip forward about 30 seconds, and then we'll get started with the program. Alan, thanks for joining us on Instagram. I'm going to give you a wave. And who's ever joined us on YouTube, thank you for joining. Feel free to say hi. This is Martinis with Scott, episode 135, our daily touch base. As you know, on Thursdays we do our Thursday drinks at 4 p.m. Eastern. I will be late with that today. I didn't get to record it yesterday because that is a pre-recorded show. And so when I've done this, I'm going to record that. But by the time it goes through the whole YouTube process, it does not show up on Instagram, by the way. But by the time I get through the whole YouTube process, it'll be past 4 p.m. Eastern. So apologies for that. I know some of you get upset when I don't have it there exactly at 4 p.m. Eastern, but there will be a show up tonight. And we're going to talk about the trust bank, the concept of the trust bank. So join us on that. I know that we have different audiences for these daily touch bases than we do for the Thursday original Martinis with Scott. So I want to talk to you today about customer service. Unless anybody has a topic they want to throw out in the live stream, feel free to do that. As I said, this is a touch base. You get to participate. Anything you want to talk about, let me know. But apart from that, I'm going to whine. I'm going to whine about my experiences yesterday and customer service. And if you're running a business, how you define your brand, how you define your brand during difficult times. Okay, so yesterday I was pretty excited. I was off to Calgary, Alberta, which is a significant city in Canada. It's not anybody's fault other than my own that I live out in the boondocks, and it's about a 3-4 hour drive, depending on weather, to get to any reasonably sized city. But yesterday, I went to Calgary, so I left the house around 8 a.m. because I had an appointment with the Infinity dealership because my wife's car is an Infinity, and it's got a bunch of things wrong with it. So I had to drop off the car by noon. Gave myself lots of time, gave myself 4 hours, left the house by 8, had a pleasant drive through the mountains and ranch land, and I got to the Infinity dealership actually by about 11 o'clock, 10 after 11, and I was able to talk to the service people and check in the car and went through my list of problems with the Infinity. By the way, the second reason I went to Calgary, also relevant to this story, is I went to the Apple store because the battery on my laptop is Apple laptop, says it needs service, and I've had troubles with these Apple laptops before. And so I wanted to get a so-called genius appointment to have them replace the battery. All right, Infinity dealership. Dropped my car off. Everything's pleasant. They have a very nice lounge there with Wi-Fi. I'm able to sit down in the lounge, do a couple hours of work, do the things that I need to do for the day, get emails returned, that sort of stuff. And the Infinity service people say they're going to need about 4 or 5 hours from noon to deal with what has to be dealt with. So what's wrong with the Infinity? Apart from just a general service, which it didn't really need, it's only 16,000 kilometers and it's already had its oil changed once. It's synthetic oil, which is good for whatever, 10,000 clicks, 10,000 kilometers. So it didn't really need a service, but happy to have it done. But on top of that, the cruise control doesn't work because the front radar obstruction is not working. And on the Infinities, this is tied to that. Hello, Ababusha, who just joined us. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that username properly on Instagram. Welcome to the show where I'm whining. I'm whining today and talking about customer service and as it relates to brand. So the radar is not working, therefore the cruise control is not working. The back camera doesn't work. It's almost impossible to back up in these vehicles now without a back camera because the mirrors automatically change and they show you a different perspective. And so you can't just turn around like the old days and look out the back window very well. So you're kind of screwed if the back camera's not working. Passenger seat warmer isn't working. Like there's this list of electronics. And there's a rattle in the sunroof, but it's a periodic rattle. But when it does rattle, it is super, super annoying on this really expensive 1-year-old, 18-month year old vehicle. And so I line up the problems for the service people. They say, no problem. I do some work. Now I'm going on to, hey, David, how are you? Thank you for joining us. I'm just whining. I'm just whining today, David. So if you want to participate in the whine, let me know. And so I go off from the Infinity dealer. I get a shuttle. They take me to the Chinook Mall in Calgary, which is, a big retail mall. And I have to go to the Apple store. I have my laptop, which I live on every day, all day. Our entire business is run on Apple products. And in fact, all of my businesses, I try to get as many Apple products as I can. If you don't know, if you run on PC laptops, for an Apple product, you pay 4 times as much, 6 times as much for a similar computer, and you expect the brand of Apple to be great customer service. You expect it to work. You expect it to sync with all your other devices. That's why you subscribe and pay the extra money. And so I'm at the Chinook Mall. I'm worried, as I said, about my battery. It says it needs service. I've had problems with Apple laptops and their batteries are crap. And so I wanted to get ahead of this. So the guy in the shuttle, now you're at a big retail mall. And so there's a bunch of entrances, exits, and he drops me off at the one where the Apple store is. Okay, so but the Apple store is inside. You don't see an Apple sign outside. So you got to walk into the mall. If you're, some of you guys are from Toronto listening to this live, I see it's like going to the Eaton Center. And so you have to walk in and go to the Apple store, except there's like 20 security guards outside and in the mezzanine, between the 2 doors that you would walk in to get into the mall. And so you walk up, and I got my briefcase with my computer, and that's it. I'm dressed nicely. I walk up, and the security guide stops me, and he says, excuse me, I'm choking today. And the security guy says, what are you here for? Do you have an appointment with Apple? And I say, yes, I do. I have a genius appointment. It's at 2 o'clock. It's only 1:05 right now. I'm an hour early, so I'm just coming in. It says, could you come back closer to your appointment? To which I said, isn't the mall open? Like, can I not just go in the mall and wander around? There was for you Canadians, there's a Harry Rosen right next door. I could, go spend a bunch of money buying clothes for you US people, international audience. This is like a super high-end retail men's clothing store. And so, and so he says, is your appointment for, he doesn't answer my question, the security guy, he says, is your appointment for service or to buy? And I said, it's for service. And he says, well, it'd be better if you came back later. We just went on pause on Instagram because of my battery, but it will be fine. Says it'd be better if you came back later. I said, but isn't the mall open? And then he says, oh yeah, the mall's open. You can just go into the mall. I said, well, why are you security guards here? And he says, well, we're just helping Apple. We're just helping the Apple people. I said, so you got nothing to do with the mall. He goes, nope, we're just helping the Apple people. So I say, okay. So I walk past him, don't answer any more of his questions. And then there's an Apple genius hanging out by the door as well. So I go to the Apple genius and I say, hey man, I just want to get my battery changed. I know that's like 20 minutes. And can you do that for me? I'm like 40 minutes, 50 minutes early for my appointment because I'd spent 5-10 minutes with the security guard. And he says, no, we can't do that. And I said, how long does it take normally? Because I just try to judge the rest of my day. And he says, battery change on a laptop, that would be 3 to 5 days. 3 to 5 days to change the battery on the laptop. They specifically told Ashley, my assistant, when we booked this appointment, that it would be done, whatever had to be done, it could be done that day. I drove 4 hours one way, 4 hours back. That's an 8-hour return trip from the boonies. I can't leave my laptop. I work on my laptop. What else would I be doing? How would I work for the rest of the week without my laptop? And he says, no, it's going to be 3 to 5 days. There's no scenario where you're not leaving your laptop here. You still want your appointment. So I did what I would normally do in that situation is I had a minor tantrum and told him to piss off and cancel my appointment. So then I go wandering through the mall. I don't find anything I like. But there is a food court open, and I haven't been to a food court in like a year and a half because of COVID. Maybe not that long since COVID hasn't been that long, but in a year, I haven't been to a food court. So I sit down, I order some food, I grab a table, I'm eating away, I'm fuming about the Apple thing. And now it's been a couple hours that my car's been at the dealership, and I call the Infinity people. By the way, how do you think I feel about Apple right now? When I say I had a minor tantrum, um, like I was willing to pull my business from Apple. I've recovered from that. That was an emotional, stupid thing to be thinking. But still, I mean, what a terrible amount of friction in a time of trouble. We'll come back to that point afterwards. So I call the Infinity dealer and I get through to the service. No, sorry, I go through the automated system to get to service, and of course nobody answers, and I get a voicemail. And what do we think the voicemail says? I looked up on the internet to come on this show today some standard voicemail greetings like, hi, you've reached the company, if you need a quick response, shoot me an email at this address, I'll be in touch end of day tomorrow, if not urgent, leave your name and number, have a great day. Reasonable. Another one, hey, it's so and so, if you're calling for whatever reason, please contact so and so, otherwise I'll be back to you in 2 to 3 business days. Not showing a sense of urgency, but at least there's some certainty there. Hello, this is whoever. Thanks for calling. Please leave your name and number, the reason you'd like to chat, and I'll get back to you ASAP. I'll get back to you ASAP. That sounds good, right? When you're calling somebody and you want an answer, I'll get back to you ASAP. Hi, you've reached so-and-so. I'm unable to come to the phone right now, but if you leave your name, number, and short message, I'll be sure to call you back. Okay, that's fair enough. That sounds like something I would say. Here's what the Infinity service line says. It says, hi, you've reached the service line. We're not available. Leave your name and number and details, and we will call you back at our earliest convenience. We will call you back at whatever the hell we feel like it, at our earliest convenience. I called back twice because I heard this, and I was like, I don't think I heard that properly. I called back to do it again. How do you think I feel about Infinity right now? So I finally get a hold of somebody. They say, yeah, your car needs a couple more hours. And I said, okay, well then I'm going to head downtown because I'm meeting Mike, who's one of my employees. I hired him by Zoom. He's been in Sinclair Range about 3 months. He's doing a great job. This is an opportunity for me to go have a drink with him. So I go to the Calgary office, which, by the way, I was in a tower in the Calgary office or the 30th floor yesterday. And my God, did that feel good. It just felt good to be normal in a tower. We went for martinis at Highs downstairs afterwards, met Mike, had a great time. My phone rings around 5 o'clock, and it's the Infinity dealer. She says, your car is ready. And I said, cool, okay. And I said, what'd you fix? How did that work out? Everything done? And she says, we confirmed that everything you said is true. We confirmed that the passenger seat is not heating up. We confirmed that the cruise control doesn't work. We couldn't find the rattle, but we confirmed the back camera isn't working. We couldn't find the rattle. Maybe next time it rattles, take a video so we have some insight onto that. And I said, cool, okay. I guess that's disappointing. You didn't find the rattle. Tell me about this confirmation of the camera not working, for example, so I can't back up. I said, that's all fixed now, right? Because you've had the car 5 hours. She says, no. We ordered a bunch of parts. Like, okay. How much are the parts? She says, oh, I don't know. So what they did yesterday is they spent 5 hours confirming in their own diagnosis everything I told them. I went to pick up my car after 5 hours. They did nothing. They changed the oil, which didn't need to be changed. As I said at the beginning of this, they changed the oil. They charged me $580 for their diagnosis of what I told them. They didn't tell me a quote on the parts that they ordered for me. Again, I drove there 4 hours one way, 4 hours back. Not their fault, yet true. So I spent 8 hours spending $600, $580 to have confirmed what I already knew to be true and got nothing fixed. And now what's going to happen is they're going to call me in 3 weeks and going to say, oh yeah, with all your parts, it's going to be $1 billion, drive here for 8 hours again, and maybe we'll fix it. How do you think I'm feeling about Infinity right now? This is a global pandemic. We're in the time of COVID. How are you defining your brand? Are you cutting corners and making things as a result more difficult for your customers, for your client base? Or are you using this as an opportunity to deliver, to define your brand? COVID's not an excuse. This was your opportunity, if you're in business, to jump ahead of your competition, to make life easier. David is listening to this live on the Instagram side of the show. He's in the law business, and he's gone out of his way to make things smooth for everybody, for all of his clients. He's done a terrific job at that. Is that what you're doing with your brand? Because this is the time that you define your brand. You don't define your brand when things are easy. Your customers are stressed, they're depressed, they're put out, they're nervous, and they need their computer fixed, and they need their car fixed. Are you giving them a hard time, or are you getting things done? Are you communicating and making things easy, or are you just throwing friction into the mix and making things harder? All right. This is, as you know, just our daily quick touch base. And if anybody has anything they want to say before I leave, please jump in on the comments. Thanks for listening to my whining and my rant. But this customer service thing is a serious issue in a time. What did David have to say? In a time of pandemic, across the board, large organizations, except for Amazon, who got it right, are using COVID as an excuse. My point exactly, David. Thank you for throwing that in. I'm going to sign off. So we do the Martinis with Scott later this afternoon. As I said, it's going to be late. It will not be 4 p.m. Eastern. Why? Because I pre-record. I did not record it yesterday, so I'm going to do it in about maybe an hour. And by the time it gets uploaded to YouTube, it will be late. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'm signing off, starting with Instagram today. Appreciate you all joining in. And now save to IGTV. Thank you, YouTube. Signing off.